Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I wanted to do a little about me video because by now you've seen my welcome video and you probably saw a little vlog I posted of just something I filmed. Um, and I kind of realized like you don't know much about me, about my story, about my God story, and then about the things I've gone through this year that have really put it into perspective of how good God is. And so today for this video, I kind of wanted to talk about that and how amazing God is and the beautiful things that He's done in my life and my testimony and the beautiful things that He could also do in your life. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So I have some notes on my phone, on how I want to do this and how I'm going to talk about this. But the first thing that I want to get into today is my God story, and really how God changed my life. Because if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be, getting a PhD, that's for sure. I wouldn't be, um, pursuing ministry. I wouldn't have the job that I have. I mean, I really wouldn't be where I am today if God hadn't guided my steps and I hadn't listened to Him. And I think it's so beautiful that people have testimonies and they share their testimonies. And so I kind of wanted to talk about first how He changed my life, and then I'll get into my health stuff. But the first thing I want to say is, if you knew me in college, especially at the first college that I attended, you knew a totally different version of me. You knew a version who loved to party, who cursed, who drank, um, who tried to act so much cooler than I was in hopes to get attention. Um, and that version is no longer me. And that I wanted to say that before I started this video because I do believe in redemption, and I do believe that people can change and people can uh, be different and be better. And I think my story is an excellent version of that. Um, but I wanted to start with, maybe we'll go in high school. So in high school, I was always desperate to be liked. I was desperate for friendship. I was desperate for other people to want me around. And in turn, that kind of made my relationships with other people kind of rocky. Because I was always trying to fit in and be somebody that I just wasn't. And I can reflect on that now and say that, but at the time, I just thought, if I don't fit in here, then I don't fit in anywhere. And I bounced with friend groups because I didn't really feel like I had a place. I didn't really feel like I fit in anywhere, but I did have specific friends in different groups that were so kind to me and so loving to me, and made my high school journey worth it, because without these people, I don't know what I would have done, because I think I would have been so starved for someone to care about me and like me that I wouldn't even be who I am today without these specific people. So I just cannot thank my current friends. I'm still friends with these people. I can't thank them enough for still being there. But in this idea of needing to be liked, there's this some friends that had I'd had in when I moved here, probably in like sixth grade, seventh grade, sixth grade. It was sixth grade, and I had made friends with these people because I thought that those were like, that was my crowd. Like, these people seem the most like me, and I want to be like these people, and these are the people I want to be friends with. And I tried really hard to fit in with this friend group for so long. Um, and sometimes I did fit in, and sometimes I didn't. And I was definitely that friend that was kind of on the outskirts of everything. I was invited to absolutely everything. I was still invited to things. Like, they still included me, and I'm so grateful for that. But I was on the outskirts of this friend group, and that was very obvious to everybody but me, apparently. And I just really wanted to be liked by these people. I just moved, and I wanted to be liked by these people because they seemed so nice, and they are nice. They are so nice, and I just wanted them to be my friends. And at some point, you kind of push yourself onto somebody so much that they don't particularly want you around. Um, and that's sad sometimes, but it does happen and it's okay. Um, but I kind of got caught in that developed into my personality of just I need to be liked by these people. I need to be liked by people. People need to want me around. And that happened so much to the point to where I was eventually just pushed out, not invited to things and not included in things until it was like really not included in things, and then I was officially not invited to like anything. Which was really sad to go through because all I really wanted to do was be liked. But my want to be liked so much by these people actually pushed them away. And I don't blame them at all. I understand. Um, but it was really sad that that was how my high school career went. Um, and then I take those habits that I developed in high school and I take them to college. And I go to college in this one school for 2 years. And in this time, I had joined a sorority. I decided I wanted to be super cool and I wanted people to like me. And so I was acting in ways that were not me. I was participating in things that was not like me. I was drinking. I was partying like crazy. All of these things that is so far from who I am. But I was participating in those things in an effort for someone to like me. And in turn, because of that, I ended up, being on academic probation. I caused a lot of riff with friend groups because I wanted to be liked by everybody. And so I wanted to act like I was something that I wasn't. And I wanted to do things that showed that I was somebody that I wasn't. And I lost so many friends. I did so many people dirty. Um, and I just cannot apologize to those people enough because it is not fair that they suffered because of my insecurities. But that is typically how it happens. And I know through this, I know that a forgiving heart is there. And I know that, like, that's not me anymore. And I know who I am now. And I'm very grateful that I did go through that and did act in that way because now I see how damaging that truly was. But I lost all my friends in that college. And I don't talk to those people anymore because I was trying to be something I wasn't. And it's not their fault because they were being themselves and I wasn't. And, but since I had developed so many bad habits at this college, I decided to move to a new college. And I knew that that was going to be the best for me. That was going to be the best move. And it was because that's where I developed like real friendships. And I kept some friendships from that college. I do have to say I have one that I've continued on with, and she's doing amazing in her life, and that's always a blessing to have somebody in your life for that long. But I went go to this new college, then I started to, develop friends and kind of figure out like who I want to be and what I want to do. I got on my grades. I was doing so good in school. And I started acting myself again. But the one thing I wasn't doing was acting in a way of Christ-likeness. And I was partying, I was drinking, I was acting crazy. I was acting in a way that was not me. And I was solely doing that because I wanted like my new friends to think I was cool, even though these new friends that had just come into my life is actually friends I've had since dance days, but I just wanted this one friend to think I was so cool, but she already loved me, so it was kind of crazy of me. Um, so I was acting in a way that wasn't me, and I wasn't super proud of it, but I am more proud of my actions at this college than I was at the previous one, because I really got on it and I cared and I tried so hard to be who I wanted to be, but I was still missing something. Like it was always like I still needed validation from other people, and I couldn't figure out what was missing in my life until I got introduced to an organization called All One Ministry. And you probably hear me talk about them quite a bit, but All One Ministry is a Christian women's organization, and we do Bible studies, we have chats, we talk to each other, we ask questions. And in this group, I found what I was missing, and I didn't realize it was God until I found this group. But I felt that I had purpose again, and I felt like this is where I need to be. Like I finally found it. And this was back in about 2019 that I found All One Ministry. And when I was during my time in All One Ministry, my friend Cassie, I'm going to name her because she is on social media, so I feel comfortable doing that. But I met a girl, the founder, Cassidy, and she saw leadership qualities in me, and she listened to God, and she took a chance on me and invited me onto their leadership team. And I could not be more grateful for her, and I credit a lot of my story and how I found Christ to her, because if it really wasn't for her and her organization, I would probably still be in the same cycle and the loop that I was in. But Cassidy, she took me under her wing, and she showed me God's love, and she showed me my purpose again. She gave me kindness, she gave me guidance, she gave me friendship. She is the reason I found out that I love ministry. I love ministering to girls. I love talking to them about God and all the amazing things He's done. I also love telling them about Him and learning about Him. I love learning about the Bible. It's like my favorite thing is to learn theology. And I found all of this and Jesus' love in this one person, in this one organization. And she seriously, like, she changed my life. And I didn't even realize that I needed this organization so bad until that year. I call it like the 3 years of torture. But in the next 3 consecutive years, not only was COVID happening, but I lost all 3 of my grandparents in a span of 3 years. And that was really hard on me. And I kind of started to realize that life was more than just people liking you. And it started to make me realize, like, I spent so much time wanting people to like me that I didn't even know who I was myself. And losing those 3 people really made me reflect in that. It wasn't fun, and it really did suck because they were some of my biggest fans, and they made me feel included and loved. And that was really hard to find in people that's not like my immediate family. Like my mom, of course, she loves me, and I'm always included in her eyes. But they always, made me feel like I was special and important. Um, and so losing them was so hard, but I went through all of that, and went through some family drama and some family issues of my own immediate family. And I did all of that, but I didn't do it alone. And I think that's the only way I was brought out of this. And if you know me personally, then you know my real story. And that's just not something I'm 100% comfortable sharing on the internet. But if you know me personally, you know that those were really like some of the hardest years of my life before this past year happened. But that was really, really hard for me because I had gone from needing acceptance and love to losing all of the acceptance and love besides my immediate family that I had. And then just trying to get through school and just go through the motions and be successful in school, because I knew like that's what my grandparents would want for me, because they always pushed me to be the best I could. And they were always so proud of all my accomplishments, and that's all I ever wanted to do was just accomplish stuff to make them proud. And because of Cassidy and because of All One Ministry and all of the amazing things that this organization has done for me, I was able to find purpose and find hope and find love again. And that was something that like nobody can ever give me. And so now that all of that has happened, when I started to allow God to take my steps, I didn't end up going to law school. That was like my main thing. I wanted to go to law school. I didn't end up going to law school because God did not have that path for me. So I didn't get in, and I didn't even try the next time. And so I went to ministry school. And now I'm getting my PhD in theology. And I think that it is so beautiful how God works and moves us in the most mysterious ways, because of all of this trial, and all these terrible things, I was able to do something beautiful with my life, and I'm able to minister to people. And then that's what sparked this YouTube. That's what sparked my blog. That's what sparked everything I'm doing. And I'm so grateful that God chose me to do this. And I'm actually so grateful I was put through all that hardship, because if not, I wouldn't be here. And so this is just kind of an encouragement to you that if you're going through a hard season, and it might be a rough season of years of struggles, God is with you, and everything is for a purpose. It is on purpose, for a purpose. You are not doing this alone, and you never will. And I am so blessed that God put me through those trials to get to here. And I think, whatever trial you're going through, you have something beautiful waiting for you at the end of it. So, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is my health journey this year. That has really played a part in everything of who I am and who God is to me. And so I have a timeline I kind of wanted to zone in on. So I'll start from the very beginning. On Halloween in 2023, I actually ate a piece of candy. It was a piece of Halloween candy. I think it was a Kit Kat, because that's my favorite candy. I ate a Kit Kat, and that night I was so sick. So I was shaking. I couldn't not leave the toilet. Like, I was so sick. I thought I was going to throw up. And if you know me, I have emetophobia, I think is what it's called. But I'm like an extreme fear. It is crazy. I have an extreme fear of throwing up. And so that was like my biggest fear. And it was really, really bad for me. So I'm going through trial and error trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm allergic to dairy. I am. And so, but just that, still, just taking that out of my diet still wasn't doing anything for me. I'm still nauseous all the time. I have this like pain in my stomach in a certain place that never goes away. And it's starting to really affect me and affect what I eat and how much I eat. And so I decide, I think around February of 2024, I'm going to a doctor because I need some help. Maybe even January. But anyways, I'm going to this doctor, and I go to my primary care doctor, and I'm like, hey, here's what's going on with me. I'm really thinking like something is up in there and I need some help. So she sends me to a gastroenterologist, and I'm so blessed that she did, because I know, it's really hard to advocate for yourself. And, all my doctors have been there advocating for me. Like, they are trying to get to the bottom of this. So I go to see this gastroenterologist, and I'm explaining to her all my symptoms, and she's like, okay, girl, I don't know what's going on with you. We're going to have to run some tests. I did not realize that year was going to be the year that I was going to see so many doctors and run so many tests. I have had every test under the sun. I'm terrified of needles, but I've had so many blood tests. It's insane. I've had an endoscopy. I've had ultrasounds, a HIDA scan, allergy testing, anything you can have, I've had it. And so we're doing all these tests, and I'm finding out little things that are going on and little things that are going on and little things that are going on. But my nausea is just off the charts. My stomach is killing me all the time. It gets to the point sometimes where like I can't even leave my bed. I'm so sick. And so this whole year has just been me trying to just make it and trying to do all the things I want to do. And all these health problems were just not in my cards. I had intended this year to do so much, and I wanted to get a different job out of my parents' company because I wanted to, go out and do things, on my own. I really wanted to grow up. I was 25. I wanted to do all the things I wanted to do. I was ready to be on my own and really work hard to build a life I wanted. And as God does, He disrupted those plans, took them away, snipped them in the bud. And I went through this year of needing assistance in everything. And it sucks. But I ended up being diagnosed with so much the first thing I was diagnosed with is an eating disorder, and mine is called AFRID, Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, and that is just me being afraid to eat because I didn't want to throw up. That was like my biggest fear. And so that started happening to me. I was also diagnosed with chronic gastritis. I was diagnosed with a hyperactive gallbladder. There's like a term for it, but I can't say it. IBS, and then most recently hypoglycemia. And while all this is happening, my mental health is seriously declining. I've always been anxious. I've had anxiety since I was about 12, I think, is when I had my very first panic attack, and I remember it so vividly exactly where it was. But I've had anxiety for forever, and I've had it very much under control. And then all of this health stuff started happening to me, and my anxiety went off the charts. I ended up developing OCD because of my fear of sickness, and my fear of throwing up. Now I have an extreme fear of germs. It's called health OCD. I cannot handle the thought of germs because I have such a low immune system. I do get sick a lot, and it drives me insane. It's so scary to me. Germs are so scary to me. I have like an air purifier for the germs. I have like cleaning supplies that hospitals use because I have such a terrible fear. I won't go anywhere. I won't hang out with people. I won't do anything. I won't get in spaces with a lot of people around for the sole fear that someone's going to make me sick. And so my mental illness has driven me in everything I do this year to the point to where like sometimes I can't even leave my house, which is a crazy thing to think about, but I can't. And I just started really going through it. And so through all of this, all these tests and all these diagnoses, I ended up going to the doctor because I can't keep my blood sugar up, and I was having passing out episodes or almost passing out episodes. My blood sugar was getting down to like 35 because of my eating disorder, and I wasn't eating. And so I go to the doctor, and I'm ending up getting tested for a tumor, which scared the life out of me. It was like, in my head, that's the ultimate germ. That's the one thing, like, I can't get rid of. Like, I just wanted to rip my skin off because I was so scared. And I ended up fine. I ended up not having a tumor, but it took 5 days of torture to get those results back, and I just ended up with hypoglycemia. But that definitely didn't help my health OCD and anxiety. Like, it actually ramped it up so much. And so that's like the shortest version I can do of my health, but my health is extremely bad right now. I have to take so many vitamins. I'm extremely malnourished, and so I get sick really easy. I have really bad stomach days, and then sometimes I have good ones, but on the bad stomach days, sometimes like I'm just staying in the bathroom the whole day, and I never know when those come. And then my anxiety keeps me from doing the things I want to do, and I know that's crazy to say, and if you've never dealt with it, you probably don't understand, but my anxiety truly keeps me from like accomplishing anything or going anywhere or doing anything. And it's really hard for me to like function in today's society. Like, it's so hard for me to just like go to the store or like go pick up something I need because of my fear of germs, because of anxiety in general. It makes it really, really hard for me to do anything, and my health and my stomach makes it extremely hard for me to function on day to day, and that really affects like my daily life. It affects everything I do. And I'm not out of the fire yet, but I do want to say that if you're going through chronic illness or chronic pain or mental health issues, anything you're going through, the only way you are good in getting through those things is with God. The only way that you are going to make it out of those things is to do it with God. I tried to do it without God for so long and just keep going and just keep pushing through the motions and just get through it. And it wasn't until I started just talking to him and accepting the fact that maybe I'm not supposed to get better right now and I need to go through this to get to whatever else is coming. Maybe this is forever. I don't know, but I do want to say that if it's not with God, then it will 100% break you and you will not be able to make it. But with God, you have a power behind you like none other. And that also reminds me of the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego with the fire. You know, they were thrown into the fire with the intention of being burned, but they were not burned. And Jesus was in that fire with them. He was in that fire. It was witnessed that he was in that fire with them. There were 3 men that were thrown into that fire, but the king saw 4. Like, Jesus was in that fire, and Jesus is in my fire, and Jesus is in your fire, and he's going to pull you out of this, whatever you're going through. And I know that because if I didn't have God and I didn't trust in him, I do not know where I would be today. I don't think I would make it. I don't think I would have been able to get the right doctors. I don't think I would have an amazing therapist who pulls me out of so many anxiety holes and OCD holes. I don't think I would have a nutritionist who constantly fights for me and makes sure that I'm eating, that I'm taking care of my body, that I'm taking the right supplements, that I'm doing the right things. If I didn't have God, my team would not know what to do. If I didn't allow God to guide my steps, I wouldn't even have the team that I have. Like, God has truly taken such a horrible situation and was like, you know what? No, we're going to get through this together because I'm in this with you, and whatever's going on and whatever I had planned for you to find out, like, we're going through this together. And so this is just encouragement to you that though you might be in your fire, you will come out, and you'll come out unscathed, no burns, because Jesus is in your fire. So if you made it this far in the video and you listened to all that, thank you so much for listening and hearing a little bit of my testimony and my God story and my health, my mental health. I know that I glossed over my health and mental health quite a bit, and I'd be happy to answer any questions as far as like chronic illness, chronic stomach illness, mental health issues, because I have them all. I got anxiety, panic, OCD, health anxiety, health OCD. I have AFRID. I have a few. But if you have any questions about any of those or anything resonated with you that you want me to talk more about, I'd be happy to. So just comment down below, like anything else you want to hear about or kind of hear how God can change that situation for you. Please let me know. I plan to really talk about my mental health a lot on this channel because I think it's very important as Christians that we talk about it. We don't need to push it down. Like, it is happening. Mental health issues will arise in some way, shape, or form through our lives, and that's okay. Like, it's not embarrassing. And God gives us tools on how to deal with that. And God also gave us amazing doctors and minds and medications if necessary to help us in other ways. You know, he's given us so many tools. And so if you have any questions or want me to talk in depth anymore about mental health or my health struggles, you got any like concerns about your own to see if like maybe they're aligning with me, tests that I've ran, that I've had to run over my health, like I'd be happy to answer any of those questions because all I want to do is like help somebody going through this. But I also wanted to say that like your circumstances do not control your character and they don't control what God is doing for you. Your circumstances are just that, your circumstances, and you can't let them eat you alive. You can't let them take control. You can't let them stop you from doing everything God has called you to do. And I think that's very evident with my story that you can change and it's okay to change. And it's also okay to self-reflect. You have to self-reflect and you have to say, hey, what I did here was wrong. I shouldn't have been acting like that. I shouldn't have done that. But here's what I'm doing to improve. And I fully believe that you can improve and you can change and you could become a more Christ-like person because we're human. We're going to make mistakes and we're going to allow our flesh to take control at some point in our life. That is going to happen. But God offers us grace and forgiveness, and that is so evident in my life. He not only offered me grace and forgiveness, but He found me a way to minister to those who also need the same help, who are going through the exact same thing. You have no idea how many people I've met who have gone through the exact same situations, and I've been able to help. And I think that's so beautiful that God gave me this story to help someone else. And I think it's so beautiful that God is giving me this health journey and this health story to help someone else, and this mental health story to help someone else. It is all a part of his plan for his greater good. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. And so if you're going through something, or you're experiencing the same thing, or maybe you want to change and you think it's not possible, that God has left you, he is here. He has never left you. He offers you grace and he offers you forgiveness. Just run to him, because he is going to be there and he loves you so much. And I love you so much. And I am here for you and I'm praying for you. So please leave a comment if you need a prayer over any season of your life, whatever you're experiencing. If you're experiencing the same thing, let me pray for you, because I know that if I didn't have my people in my tribe praying for me, I don't know what I would have done. Like, prayer truly changes everything. But thank you so much for going through this whole video and watching it in full. I couldn't be more grateful for everybody who's watching my videos. This is really new for me and very exciting. But I'm going to tag all my socials down below. It's going to have my Instagram, going to have my TikTok, I'm going to have my blog down there, so you can kind of read more about my story, because I do talk a lot about it and a lot about my health journey. So definitely read those. I might tag a couple blog posts that kind of go along with this, so you can kind of read more about it and get more encouragement from this. And definitely comment down below if you need a prayer, you have questions, anything. Thank you for making it this far in this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.